Okay, welcome everyone this evening. So we just had a spontaneous theme request for the liver meridian, and I'm just checking my book, and it's very much about the outer hips, and just the liver is really associated with anger, where we store unresolved anger and rage and that kind of thing in the liver. So just notice how you feel during the class. If you get little flashes of anger and rage, just know that it's just stuff coming out. Let it, breathe it through. Yeah, okay. So yeah, because anger, anger's a justifiable, healthy part of the human condition, as long as we can work with it and process it and release it and not let it turn against us. Turns to kind of internal bitterness. It can eat us up inside if we don't discharge that energy, quite a destructive energy. So yeah, I think it's a great theme. So let's start in wide knee child's pose. So get yourself on your mat. So you want your big toes touching, your knees about that distance apart, and sinking the hips onto the heels. So just allow the forehead to rest on the floor or possibly on the support. And just start to take some deep breaths. Just start to feel a sense of release. So I'm just having a quick look at my go-to book that matches yoga to the meridians. And when you tend to work with the liver meridian, we also work with the gallbladder meridian, which is a small sac into which the bile from the liver flows. So they come together really. So the liver meridian is actually up the inner seam of the thighs, the legs, and it's the gallbladder meridian that's the outer hips and outer legs. So we'll do a bit of both and kind of cover both. So we're working more with the liver here in the thighs. So just notice your starting point this evening. The day you've had, where it's left you, your energy levels, your emotional landscape, what your mind is focusing on. Just notice if you just keep getting caught in the same mental loops, maybe picking apart the past or maybe fretting over the future. Just kind of observing where your mind's at. We'll just see if we can locate any held tension in the body that we can release here, maybe in the jaw and the face, the shoulders. And just as you inhale, really feel the torso, the abdominal area pressing against the inner thighs. So our liver is a big organ located to the right of the abdominal cavity, just below the diaphragm. Just as you breathe, feel like you're breathing prana, blood flow into the liver, and the gallbladder is just attached to the liver. And breathing out what might be held there. Anger that we haven't resolved within us, that's then turned against us, bitterness, betrayal, those kind of feelings, breathing it out. A couple more slow, deep breaths here. And then at the end of your next exhale, bringing yourself up to tabletop. And onto your hands and your knees. And we'll start to cat-cow the spine. So just moving with the breath, inhaling into a cow, shoulders back, looking up, exhaling into the cat. Starting with the tailbone, ending with the head and the eyes. At the end of your next exhale, just coming back to neutral. And then from here, we're going to tuck the toes and come into downward dog. We're lifting the hips, stretching them back, bending the knees if you need. Walking it out if that feels good. And we'll just spend some slow, deep breaths here, just really feeling our foundations. So when we're working with the anger energy, it's really important to feel grounded. It's a very ungrounding energy. It's like a fiery energy. Think how ungrounding fire is. It's not earth. It's kind of rises up. The flames rise up. So we want to ground so we can release that into the earth. Spreading the fingers, spreading the toes, relaxing the jaw. And then coming down onto the knees, taking an inhale here. And as you exhale, come to Ashtangasana and pause. So we bring the chest between the hands and the chin to the floor. And you might need to kind of lift the chest slightly if you're well endowed in your chest. Don't make it uncomfortable, so you have to put more pressure through the hands, but the elbows are pointing back. Hips are up. And then slide the legs out behind you and inhale, just come up to a cobra. Just have the hands underneath the shoulders, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. So the liver meridian comes up the inside of the legs and up the front of the body. So we'll be doing some chest front openers today. So just starting small, couple more breaths, feeling the muscles on the back work here. And then exhale, lowering the head, tucking the toes, pressing up. You can press straight up to the plank or to tabletop and then come back to downward dog. I'm just going to do that little vinyasa a couple more times. Deep breaths in downward dog, easing out the body. So this time again, you can just bring the knees down from here, or if you prefer to be more strong, you can come forward to the plank. So in either tabletop, knees down, or plank, take an inhale. And as you exhale, lower yourself down to the belly this time, knees on or off the floor. And again, inhale, just up to a cobra. Just taking a couple of breaths here, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And this time we're just going to flow with the breath. So exhale to lower the head to the floor. Inhale to lift up, not using the hands. Won't be far. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Just a baby cobra. One more time. Exhale, lowering the forehead. Inhale, lifting. So we're activating the back muscles here. Exhale, tuck the toes, either press straight up to the plank or back to tabletop and back to downward dog. We'll just do this one more time. So just a couple of breaths in downward dog. Or remember, come down to child's pose any point, maybe today. For our theme, come to widen child's pose if you choose child's pose. And then last time, either bring the knees down for tabletop, shoulders over the wrist, or come to the plank, taking a full inhale here, and exhale, lowering down to the belly. This time we're going to inhale using the back muscles, but maybe you want to press yourself a little bit higher up. So you could still have the elbows bent or come all the way up more towards upward dog. Draw the shoulders back, free the sides of the neck, and just take a couple more breaths. Feel how we're really stretching the front of the body now. And again, we're just going to flow with the breath. So exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, come up, starting to use the back muscles and then press. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Last time. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, coming down. Tuck the toes, lift up to either the plank or tabletop, back to downward dog. Probably feeling the arm muscles there. Take a couple of breaths here. And at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump your feet to the hands. Feet hip distance apart. Take a forward fold. Hook the first two fingers and the thumb around the big toe for Padangusthasana. Bend the knees if you need to make that connection. And just let the crown of the head drop, the shoulders moving away from the ears, belly moving up towards the spine. And then inhale, straighten the arms and look up. Release the hands, free the hands. Walk the feet out to the edges of the mat, toes out, heels in, and drop the hips down into Malasana squat. So a bit like YV child's pose, but opening the inner seam of the thighs here. Lifting up through the spine. Slow, deep breaths. Great, and then taking the hands forward onto the floor again, press through the legs to lift the hips, walk the feet in, and then this time bring the hands to the hips, feet underneath the hips, bend the knees, sink the hips, and inhale the hands just in front. So we're in a kind of low squat, stretching the fingertips out, drawing the lower belly in, feeling the strength in the legs. One more breath, and then slowly inhale, press through the legs to come up, and exhale, bring the hands to the sides. Well done. Okay, so let's take some sun salutations. So bringing the shoulders back and down, reaching down through the fingertips. And we'll just do 3 standard sun salutations just to start to warm the body up a bit more. Okay, so when you're ready, inhale, raising the hands, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or jump back to the plank or tabletop. And inhale here. Exhale, push the floor away, lowering down. Inhale, enjoy that front opener into your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Release the back of the neck, spread the fingertips again. Take that opportunity to ground in downward dog. Feel hands and feet on the floor. So we'll build a bit of fire, working with the fire energy, with anger. So we won't stay too long in downward dog. At the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise the hands, and let's just flow straight into the next one. Keep the fire going. So exhale, come all the way back down, hands to the floor, drop the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or jump back to the plank or tabletop, and inhale. Exhale, push the floor away, elbows in, lowering down. Inhale, open your front body. Exhale, downward dog. So moving fairly swiftly. Take the opportunity again to ground the fire here. Earth posture, downward dog. And at the end of your exhale, look forward. Walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, reach up, and again, last time we'll exhale all the way back down. So a seamless flow. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Plant the hands, exhale, step or jump back to the plank or tabletop and inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend, open the front body. Exhale, downward dog. Ground. Really feel your hands and feet connecting with your mat, with the earth. And at the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, stretch. Exhale, hands to the side. Let's take a brief pause, feeling that fire energy rising within us, feeling the heat rise. And then step to face the long edge of your mat, and we'll come into a warrior sequence. So taking your arms out wide, turn the left foot in, the right foot out, and exhale into warrior two. So we want the right knee above the ankle and look forward over that middle right finger. So sometimes if we're feeling a lot of agitation, anger kind of energies, just doing a strong practice can help us discharge. That can give us a way to channel that energy through the body, earthing it. A couple more breaths here. And then exhale to bring the left hand onto the left leg and reach the right hand back without coming out of that right hip. Keep that lunge in the front leg. Inhale back to warrior two. And then bring the right elbow onto the right thigh and bring the left upper arm up and over. And just find that stretch, first of all, with the chest nice and open. And you're welcome to stay here. But if you want to really challenge the fire, bring the right upper arm close to the right ear with the palms facing each other. It's going to use a lot of muscles around your waist. Stretch through the fingertips. And then inhale, lastly, back up to warrior two. And exhale, straighten the right leg. Release the hands. And the other side. Turn the right foot in, the left foot out, hips face forward. Inhale, reach and extend. Exhale, bend that left knee so it's above the ankle. Turn, look over the left middle finger. Breathe deep. Warrior posture. So fiery energy. And then exhale, right hand onto right leg, left hand reaches up, or maybe back. Breathing into the left side. And then inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, bring the left elbow to the left thigh, bring the right upper arm up and over. Little toe edge to fingertips, stretch that side body. And then again, stay here or feel the fire, bring the left arm up to close to the left ear, palms face each other. We're still in this diagonal stretch, still in the lunge in the left leg. And then inhale back to warrior two and straighten the leg. Turn the toes forward and just step the feet together for a moment. Okay, well done. Maybe the heart rate's up a little bit. So a lot of the second part of the class is going to be quite deep stretches for these meridians. So it's good that we're building a bit of heat now. So standing at the front of the mat, we're going to step the left foot back and come onto the ball of the left foot and sink the hips into the low lunge legs. And then inhale the hands for high lunge. So on the ball of the left foot, squeeze the left buttock. Stretch up through the fingertips, open the chest, drawing the tailbone under. And then again, you can stay here or challenging the front thigh, challenging the strength of the body, take the hands forward. So we're drawing a line from the left heel to the fingertips. Really feeling this on the front thigh now. Breathe through that intensity, breathe through the fire. Inhale to come up. Just pivot if you can all the way around to the other side. Come onto the ball of the right foot, bend the left knee, lifting the arms up into high lunge, squeezing the right buttock, right thigh active, deep breaths. And then on your next exhale, taking the hands forward, so feeling that long line from right heel to fingertips, extension through the back body, feeling the burn. And then inhale back to the high lunge, turn to the side, straighten the legs, and again, step or jump if you're feeling that firiness, bring the feet together and just take a moment here. Let's just let the fire cool a minute. So we can practice working with our fire element, fire energy in our yoga practice on the mat to help us learn to work with this difficult energy off the mat. Okay, let's take a cooling forward fold. Take the feet wide with the toes pointing forward. Bring the hands onto the hips. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Take a forward fold. Bring the floor closer if you need with hands on a block. Release the back of the neck, top of the head descends, legs strong, internal arches of the feet lifted, pressing down through the perimeter of the feet. But have a sense of softening in the torso, in the jaw. And then let's move from here into a twist. Twists also work with our fire, stimulate the fire within us. So bring your left hand underneath the face, use a block if the floor is unavailable, and bring your right hand onto your lower back and turn to the right, drawing the right shoulder back. Keep the legs strong and firm, and then if it feels okay, raise the right hand up to the ceiling, looking up to the top hand. So we're pressing down through the left hand, reaching through right fingertips. Continue to breathe deeply in the twist. And then exhale, bringing that right hand down, swap the hands. So right hand's under the face now, left hand on the lower back, draw the left shoulder back, looking up, extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release that left hand down, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up. And just pause here for a moment. Slightly bring the feet together, slightly narrower stance, and we'll turn the left foot in, the right foot out again, hips forward. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, Trikonasana. Right hand to right leg, left hand lift. Feel that groundedness through your feet, strong legs, open feet, active feet. Deep breath. And inhale, coming up. Turn right foot in, left foot out, hips forward. Inhale, exhale, slide to the left, reach the right hand up. Trikonasana. And then inhaling to come up, and because we want to twist a little bit today, we'll do the reverse triangle, the revolved triangle, sorry. So we're going to turn the left foot in and the right foot all the way out, but this time the hips follow. So you're facing your right foot. You might need a block if your hamstrings are tight. Take your right hand onto the lower back. Inhale, stretch up through the left side. Exhale, reach forward. And then bring that left hand down to the floor, either big toe side of the foot, maybe on the foot. If you're very open, little toe side of the foot. If you need to use a block, definitely big toe side of the foot. And then start to revolve and twist your torso towards the right, towards the front leg, drawing the right shoulder back. And if it feels okay, raising the right hand and looking up to the top hand. Stay very grounded through your feet. Press down through both sets of toes. Draw the low belly in a little bit to support you at your center. And then to come out, release the right hand back to the lower back, turn to face forward, bend the front leg and bring yourself up. So if that all feels really compressed and difficult, remember to use a block on its highest setting maybe. So again, we're just pivoting all the way around to face the left foot forward now. Your heels are roughly in line and your right toes are pointing in front of the right heel. Hips face forward this time. Left hand on the lower back. Inhale, stretch up through the right arm. Exhale, reach forward. And then at full extension, bring that right hand down to the floor. So any doubts, bring it underneath the right shoulder on the big toe side. Only if you know this posture, you're quite open, place it on the left foot or to the little toe edge of the left foot. Squeeze the inner thighs together, start to turn to the left with the torso, drawing that left shoulder back, reaching the left hand up if available. So we press down through the right hand, reach through the left fingertips, feeling the strong twist here in the spine. Also opening the outer hip, left hip in this case for that gallbladder meridian. quite a fiery posture in its own way. To come out, look forward, bend the front leg, release the left hand back to the left hip and bring yourself up nice and gently. And turn to face the front and step forward, feet together. Just ground that fire in Tadasana. Okay, so we'll do one more fiery posture. We'll do a balance, and we'll do probably the fieriest balance, or one of the fierier balances, Warrior 3. So to make this easier, keep your hands by your thighs. Only if you want more challenge, you take your hands out to the side or forward as we come into the balance. Hardest is forward. Okay, so balancing on the left foot first, strengthen the left leg. Start with your hands by your sides as we take the right foot up behind us and start to tilt the weight of the torso forwards, pressing through the heel of the back foot. Keep the hands here or take them out to the side as if you're flying, or hardest version, take them forward, palms face each other. Bend the standing leg if you need. Use your kind of core stability to support you here. Deepen your breath. Extend through fingertips and back through heel. One more breath if you can. And then to come out the way you came in. So just let the right foot come back to join the left in front of the mat. And pause. Feel the fire. Okay, let's try the other side. So spreading the toes of the right foot, firming the right thigh. Start to lift the left foot out behind you with the toes pointing towards the floor, foot flexed, and the torso comes forward. So we're creating like a capital T shape. Maybe you're doing something different with the arms, either keeping them back behind you or out to the side or forward, palms face each other. If they're forward, dynamically extend through the fingertips as you extend back through the heel. Get long in the back body. And to come out the way you went back in. Left foot joined to right, so we return to Tadasana. And pause. Well done. Okay, let's come back to that Malasana squat. So taking the feet wide, turning the toes out probably, sinking the hips. Palms touch, elbows to the inner thighs. So again, stay here. This is great. But if you want another twist, take your left hand, keeping the elbow inside the left thigh or knee, take your left hand beyond the left foot and reach up through the right hand and look up. Possibly some of you might get a bind here, reaching the arms around that left thigh, finding the opposite fingertips behind you. Don't force that. And then releasing the bind or releasing that left hand down. Just come back to the center and other side, making sure your upper arm's inside the right thigh, right hand out beyond the foot. Inhale, extend that left hand up and look up, or maybe even a bind for some of you, if it's not forcing, causing injury. And then turning to the front, releasing. Just bring the hands down behind, bring the bum down, and extend the legs out in front of you. So again, just let's take a cooling forward fold after all of that. So just releasing the legs out in front. Just inhale, raising the hands, legs quite active here, and exhale, take that forward fold. Taking hold of the legs or the feet or the ankles, dropping the head. Inhale, look up and lengthen, and bring yourself up. We'll come into a seated twist, so bring your right foot to the outside of the left knee. Have your right hand behind you as your prop. Inhale, stretch up through the left, and exhale, bring the elbow to the outside of the right thigh, or just hug the knee into the crook of the elbow. If it's the elbow pressing the outside palm, faces forward. We're looking towards or over our right shoulder. We're lifting up through the spine, keeping active in that left leg. And the seat of our fire in yoga is the navel, the abdominal area. So twisting is supposed to stimulate the fire, called Agni in Sanskrit. And then inhale, turning to the front. Just lean over to the left and bend the left knee and sit yourself back down. You might need to sit up on a block at this point. So this might not be available for you. So we've got the left knee pointing forward, the left foot to the outside of the right hip, the right foot still on the floor with the knee pointing up. If you need to, bring your foot to the other side of the left knee. Okay, and then we're just going to twist again. So right hand behind you, inhale, stretch up, exhale, twist. Same as before, you can either hug the knee in or press the elbow to the outside. Or even in this one, if it's available, you could take the bind where you feed the left hand back through underneath the right thigh and pick up the right hand or wrist behind the back. Lifting up through the spine, pointing the left foot if you can, and pressing down through the big toe of the right foot, grounding that right sole of the foot. Inhale and exhale, unwind back to the center. Okay, and we will just come into the outer hips here for the gallbladder. So if it's available, and again, you might need to sit up on a block at this point, come into Gormakasana leg. So we start to bring that right foot back towards the outside of the left hip. But if you just need to stay where you are with that right knee raised, that's absolutely fine. If the soles of the feet are available, take your palms to touch your soles, or just fingertips on the floor, whatever position your legs are in. And lift up through the spine, dropping the tailbone down towards the earth. Shoulders back and down, chest open, lower belly gently drawing in. And let's add the shoulders. So we can raise the left arm, drop the fingertips down the spine. We can just use the right fingertips to pull up and push down on the front of that elbow. Or we can take right hand out to the side, palm faces behind us, wriggle the fingertips up the spine, using a strap if we need to hold on to with both hands, or possibly finding the fingertip grip, or the top. Keep the chin lifted. Deep breaths, feeling this stretch on the outer seam of the legs and the thighs. Again, noticing if any emotions arise, just let them bubble up, breathe them through, it's all welcome. Memories, thoughts. And then releasing the hands, taking the hands behind, just unravel, and we'll do that little sequence on the other side. So taking your right leg out, if you need to just kind of massage, straighten out, do anything, wobble the legs around a bit, that's fine. And then when you're ready, right leg engages, left foot comes to the outside of the right knee. Left hands are support behind us, lift up through the spine, twist from the navel towards the bent leg, hug the knee into the crook of the elbow or press the elbow to the outside and look towards or over your left shoulder. And then on your inhale, turn to face the front. Leaning over to the right, if available, bend the right knee and bring the sole or bring the right foot to the outside of the left hip as you drop the left hip back down. So if this doesn't work, you can just keep that bottom leg extended and repeat the previous twist. Otherwise, remember, you can always bring the left foot to the inside of the right knee. Again, the same twist. So left hand behind us, inhale, lift up through the right side, exhale, twist. Hug the knee into the elbow, press the elbow to the outer thigh, or even again that bind for some of you to feed the right arm underneath the left thigh and find opposite fingertips or wrists behind the back. Don't force that. Let your breath guide you. If you can no longer breathe fully, then come into a less intense version of the twist. Keep lifting up through the spine. And then inhale to release. And again, you can stay here, whatever stage you're at, or if it's available, just developing it a little bit further where we walk that left foot to the outside of the right heel. Maybe lift the hips for a moment so we can really squeeze the inner thighs towards each other and settle the hips back down, maybe on a block. And again, if the soles of the feet are available, we take the palms to touch the soles or the fingertips to the floor, lifting up through the spine, shoulders back and down. Breathing deep. And then adding the shoulders. So raising that right arm up, dropping the fingertips down the spine. Maybe using the left fingers on the front of the elbow to pull up, push down, or bringing the left hands behind, wiggling them up the spine, holding opposite fingers, keeping that right armpit open, chin lifted. And exhale, release. Bring the hands behind you again to release the legs. Do any little massage or wobbling of the legs that you need here. We're going to come down onto our bellies and work with this front body opening, this front line. So just take a moment, take your time, arrive on your belly, and just take that moment to arrive on the belly. It's a whole different kind of position for the body. So just give yourself a moment, taking the forehead onto the back of the hands and just softening the belly into the floor, and just integrating the work we've done so far and doing a little check-in here. Okay. So when you're ready, we're going to come up to the Sphinx, but we'll do it the version where you bring the palms together. So elbows underneath the shoulders and palms touch each other like a kind of prayer position, pointing the fingertips forward. And we're kind of quite active in the legs. We're pressing down through the tops of the feet, pubic bones pressing down gently, and we're lifting up through the front body, drawing the shoulders back and down. Just breathe into the stretch in the front of the body here. If it feels too intense for your lower back, you can take the elbows forward. So we're just going to take a little bit longer in these postures, moving towards the realms of yin yoga, not quite doing full yin holds, but just longer holds. When we're working with the more subtle energy, the meridians, and slow is better. Gives us time to tune into the subtleties, maybe closing the eyes if you haven't already, to really feel what's going on in your body, your physical, maybe in the more subtle, maybe the emotional, the mental, the energetic. Releasing the jaw. Relax the buttocks. And then you can stay here for a bit longer, and if you need to come out at any point, do. If you want to develop that front opening and a bit more, then turn the hands to point out towards the corners of the mat and start to straighten the arms. So your hands are like props, and if you still want more, then you can start to walk the hands a bit closer towards you, but keep the pubic bone on the floor, keep the shoulders moving down away from the ears, shoulder blades sliding down the back and together. Breathing into the front body, trying to relax the buttocks, listen to your lower back, only do what's within your range, your pain-free range. Again, staying a little bit longer than usual. Listen to your body, come out when you need. Check the shoulders aren't creeping up to the ears. A few more breaths here. And then slowly lower the front spine down from the navel up towards the neck. And again, you can either just take your forehead onto the back of the hands, or hands to the side, turn a cheek to the side, whatever's more comfortable. And if you need to just wobble the hips side to side, or lift up the feet and windscreen wiper the legs, just releasing that lower back, then by all means do. Or just lie still. If you've turned your cheek to face one side, turn it to face the other. Take some deep breaths into the lower back. And then turning to face forward, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And let's press back again to that wide knee child's pose. So bringing toes to touch the knees wide. Sink the hips down onto the heels and take the hands out in front of you. So really stretching out the spine here. Release the forehead to the floor and breathe into the space you've created in the lower back. And let's turn this into a gentle twist. So just looking forward, pressing through the hands just enough so you can lift that left elbow and slide the right hand underneath the left arm with the palm facing up as far through as it will go. Bring the side of the head down to the floor. And you can keep the left arm where it is, stretching out just to give that spine really nice traction or stretch. If you want to deepen the twist, you could take the left hand around the back and just draw that left shoulder back. So whatever feels better for you, both are good. And then if you've wrapped the left arm, releasing it back out in front of you, press through the left hand, bring yourself up, slowly bring that right arm out in front, and then same on the other side. So staying low, feeding that left hand through underneath the right arm, palm facing up, left side of the head towards the floor, keeping the right hand where it is, or maybe wrapping it around, finding your left thigh with the fingertips and drawing the right shoulder back towards the spine. And then releasing the right hand, taking it forward again, press through, take the left hand forward, slowly walk the hands back in. We're going to come into the pigeon. So back into that gallbladder. So you can do this from your hands and knees, or if you prefer, you can come into downward dog to come into it. But either way, we're going to slide the right knee behind the right wrist, lower the left knee down to the floor if it's not already there, and then tuck the left toe under, walk the left foot back, come onto the top of the left foot. Pad your right hip with a blanket or a cushion or a block if you need. Try to flex the right foot if available. And you can stay upright like this, or if it feels okay in that right knee, take the hands forward, rest the head on something, whether that's a block, your hands, the floor, if available. And let's try to relax. So this is a posture that often brings up anger. It's an intense posture. So that sense, this is the gallbladder meridian. And we do say that's very galling. If something's really difficult for us to, displeasurable, difficult for us to accept, it's very galling. So you might feel that kind of resistance energy, anger energy in this posture, very common. So again, our yoga practice on the mat helps us deal with these things off the mat. So see if we can soften into that sensation, just breathe it through, breathe it out. It's a natural response when something's difficult, intense. But we can work with it, we can breathe it through so it doesn't turn against us and doesn't turn against those we love, others around us. It's just showing us we're at an edge. Make sure you've not gone past the edge, that you can breathe this energy through. If you can't and it's building, then you've probably gone too far. Come back a bit. Relax the belly, where we often hold a lot of that kind of anger tension. Relax the shoulders and the teeth. Don't grit the teeth, as we often do when we're resisting, angry. Slacken the jaw. Relax the face. A couple more deep breaths here. And then at the end of your next exhale, let's walk the hands back in, tucking that back toe under, sliding the right knee to join the left, and either extending that right leg all the way out on the ball of the foot, or downward dog, or maybe both. But just make sure you open up the back of that right knee fully. You feel the blood flowing down the right leg again. Feel it come alive again after the compression. And then when you feel ready, we'll come to the other side. So again, you can return to your knees if you prefer, if you're in downward dog, or come straight into it from downward dog. Either way, bring that left knee forward so it's out towards the left side of the mat, behind the left wrist. Tuck the right toe under to take the right foot back, right hip bone back, come onto the right knee. Stay here, or start to walk the hands forward, bringing the forehead to rest on something if possible. Flex the left foot if you can. Relax the jaw, relax the belly, relax the shoulders, all those places in our body where we resist, manifest that anger energy perhaps, tension in the body. And then at the end of your next exhale, or when you feel ready, if you need a bit longer, that's fine. When you feel ready, lifting the gaze, walking the hands back in, tucking that back toe under, sliding the left knee to join it and out behind you, or coming straight into downward dog, whatever you prefer here. Open out the back of that left knee. Feel that left leg come alive again. Don't worry if you've got pins and needles tingling, that's really normal after pigeon or during pigeon. Okay, and then just bring the knees down. We're going to sit down. We're going to just develop that outer hip stretch a little bit further. with a posture that's sometimes called Agnisara, or the fire log posture. So it's really working with that fire. So you might need to sit up on a block. I don't do this very often in class because it's really hard, and a lot of people struggle with this. So there's modifications, but if possible, we're going to bring the right shin so it's parallel with the front of the mat, with the foot flex, so the toes are out in front of you, and the right knee's just slightly wider than the right hip. And then we try to swing in the left leg and stack the shins like the logs, fire log. We stack them like logs, and if possible, the sole of the left foot is flush with the outside of the right thigh, just above the knee. So it's not cross-legged, the feet are not next to the hips, they're further forward. So as you look down, you see a triangle pointing towards you. Okay, so lots of people will have that top knee high. You can put a block underneath it if that helps. If it doesn't work for you, just try not to bring that right foot back too far, but just bring it back slightly so that you can just put the left shin in front of the right shin, but still this sense of a triangle shape, so the feet aren't all the way back, they're further forward, shins are parallel to the front of the mat. Okay, so this is our fire log posture. You might already be really feeling the intensity in this gallbladder meridian, the outer hips and lower back, so you can just stay here, fingertips on the floor lifting up. If you feel you've got a little bit more space to go, you can take the hands in front of the shins, and maybe that in itself is enough. That will already switch on the stretch. And if not, just gradually walk the hands forward until you get to your edge. So this is an intense posture. That feeling of resistance is likely to come up. Just notice if it brings with it those emotions of rage, anger, that kind of feeling is really normal when we challenge ourselves, and particularly in this meridian, because of the qualities it works with. So just noticing that within you, breathing it through, making sure that you are able to control these feelings, that you can breathe them through. If not, you've gone too far. There's a really good gauge. Can we moderate? Can we regulate the emotions? Allow them to be there, but just allow them to move through us. Emotion is just another type of energy, sometimes very intense, but still an energy that just needs to move. When we don't allow them, that's when they get stuck in the body. So probably what's held in our outer hips is all the times we didn't express our anger or allow it, breathe it through, process it. It gets trapped. And then slowly walking the hands back in, coming back upright, and we'll swap sides. So just gently taking the hands back, coming out, and then we just need to put the other leg on the bottom. So same as before, the left shin now is on the bottom, parallel with the front of the mat, foot flex. We swing in the right leg from the outside, foot eventually flush with the outer right thigh. It might be for you that your foot's not all the way across, just going as far as you can, propping the right knee if you need, or just putting right shin in front of left shin. Okay. And again, this side could be very different, noticing if this is enough upright, if it's enough just to take the hands in front of the shins with the back straight, or if there's scope for taking a walk forward with the hands. So just being really honest with yourself, letting your breath and your intensity of your emotional landscape or sensation landscape guide you. What can we relax into? What can we breathe fully into? This is your guide. Try to relax the belly here and the jaw and the face, the back. I forget about this posture. I should do this posture more often. It's a good one, isn't it? Let's say effective one, effective stretch. And then slowly, when you're ready, if you feel like you're just getting into it and you need a few more breaths, that's fine. But when you feel ready, start to bring the hands back, bring yourself out. We'll come straight into the wide knee seated position, straddle position. It should feel nice on the knees, and moving just back into this liver meridian now, back into the inner thighs. Okay, so again, sitting upright might be enough, or hands in front might be enough, or again, taking that walk forward. And it should feel like a different stretch now, inner thighs, inner groins, inner seams of the legs, breathing into that stretch. And then at the end of your next exhale, again, if you need just those extra few breaths, take them. But when you're ready, coming out, just use your hands behind the knees to help you draw the legs together. We're going to come down onto our backs, and we're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, this posture with the knees out, feet together. And there's options. You can just do it lying on the floor, but you could use a bolster and get a front opener again. You could also do the bound version with a strap if you wish. So we're going to spend maybe 5 minutes here, or a few minutes. So kind of we are dropping into a yin posture just to kind of close. So if you're using the strap, you have a big loop, take it over the body, all the way down, right to the lowest part of the spine, the sacrum. And we tuck the loop over the top of the feet. So it's underneath the little toe edge. And then we tighten the strap so that we feel some resistance. The resistance will increase when we go back, so make sure it's not too tight. Make sure the belt is really low down around the sacrum, not higher on the spine. You don't have to use the belt, by the way. And then, with or without the bolster, lay yourself back. The bound version works better on a bolster, I find. You could also pad the outsides of your thighs with cushions, blocks, if you're very tight on the inner thighs. So what we should feel like if we're using the strap, what we should feel like when we go back is that the strap is taut. You can kind of almost twang it, and it's taking the strain. So the whole point of this is that our legs can relax. So more in a kind of supported posture here. If you feel constricted or it's just not working, just skip the strap, just bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, and lie back with or without a bolster. Keep it simple. Once you are sorted, if anyone needs assistance, don't forget you can always unmute and ask. But once we're sorted, we relax the shoulders and feel gravity kind of take the shoulder tips downwards, which stretches and opens the upper chest. We let the breath just become gentle, natural, but feel how it's stretching the front body and the belly and the ribs. Soften the breath. Feel your body becoming both heavy and light. And it starts to relax into the support beneath you. There can also be a corresponding sense of expansiveness as the body becomes heavier, more relaxed. Maybe tune into our subtle energy field beyond our skin, a buzzing, a vibration, our vibration. Maybe you can feel it inside the body, your unique energy, imprint, vibration. Maybe you feel it in the heart, the chest, belly, the groin. And just feeling how we're really stretching open the location of the liver here, the right side of the upper abdominal area, giving space for the liver to expand, take up its space, discharge stagnant energy, might be stuck here in the gallbladder, feeling that just float away. I'm going to start to think about coming out of the posture again. Just tune in. If you need a little bit longer, it's fine, but just start to think about coming out. And if you're in the bound version, you're going to need to use your arms to prop you up. So make sure you use your hands and arms more than your belly, pressing through the arms to come up. If you're not bound, you can just roll to one side and come out that way. Once we're up, just simply loosen the strap a little bit and take the strap off the feet, and you're immediately free. Take the loop overhead. If you've been on a bolster, roll it out the way, come back down to the floor. We'll just counteract that back bend, so just gently rolling the spine down onto the floor and just bringing the feet, first of all, just come to neutral spine, so bring the feet wide, let the inner knees rest, and just take the hands onto the belly, or one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the heart, or hands on the floor, whatever's comfortable. And let's just breathe out, kind of discharge that energy out through the sacrum, ground again. Back bends, even very gentle back bends, can be stimulating, so just releasing, calming, grounding. Feeling the earth beneath the spine now, in its neutral curves. Softening the belly, softening the chest. Now we can just bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug here, maybe little rocks or circles, or just stillness. Deep breaths into the lower back. And we've just got a few minutes space for an inversion. If you don't want to do an inversion, you could just lie here, knees to chest, or take a little knees to one side, twist either side, nice and long, hold each side. Otherwise, if you want to come into shoulder stand or the plow or headstand, and this is in your practice, then by all means just go for it. If you don't know what to do, but you want an inversion, you can just lift the hips, put the hands underneath the buttocks, palms down, and elevate the legs, or put a block under the sacrum and elevate the legs. So we just want to get the legs into the air, or you can take the legs up the wall. So we've just got about 3 or 4 minutes here. If you're coming into shoulder stand or the plow, a little bit of momentum takes the feet back. If the feet touch down, you can interlace the fingers. If they don't, support the back. And then maybe from the plow, coming up into the shoulder stand or headstand if it's there for you. So just an inversion of your choice, making sure you're well within your comfort zone. I'm here if you've got any queries. Once you're up in shoulder stand, just keep looking up. Looking to take at least 5 slow deep breaths with the legs in the air if we're inverting here. Great. So remember, if you're going up into shoulder stand from the plow, make sure you support the back. Yeah. Beautiful. Everyone I can see. Lovely. And then when you feel it's time to come out, kind of gauge it for yourself, ideally after at least 10 slow deep breaths. Then you can roll out with as much control as you can. You can hold onto the edges of the mat to help you. You could come back through the plow if that helps. I can't see what all of you have been doing. Linda, I can't see your screen. So if you've been in the shoulder stand, then come to the fish. This is where we take the hands to the outer hips and we bring the elbows close in, lift the chest, drop the head back, opening the throat, lifting the space behind the heart. If you've been in the headstand, it's child's pose. And if you've just had your legs up in the air, you don't need to do anything particular. After a few breaths in the fish, gently drawing the chin in, walking the elbows out, coming back down to the floor. Just take a moment, feeling again the support of the mat beneath you, beneath your neutral spine. So we've got 5 minutes left, so if it feels you're ready, we'll just drop straight into Shavasana from here. If you feel you need anything else, like that little twist side to side or happy baby, by all means, take what you need, but it will obviously cut into your Shavasana time. So when you are ready, bring yourself into Shavasana, but there's no rush because you can stay in Shavasana beyond the end of the class as well. When you're ready for Shavasana, check your alignment through the spine, the neck, the head, the pelvis, arms away from the side, palms up, feet flopping out to the side, belly relaxed, face relaxed, jaw relaxed. And just before we totally allow ourselves to kind of drop into the void of Shavasana, just one more little kind of check-in. Noticing how you feel compared to the start of the class. What's your energy like now? Your emotional landscape, your mental landscape? Are you still caught in that same loop, or has the mind settled a bit as it's coming to the body, been more present? Do you feel some emotions have moved, some energy's moved? We always move a lot of energy when we practice yoga on all levels of our being. Just noticing how you feel at the end of the class. And then just dropping all inquiry, dropping all effort, mental effort, physical effort. Allow yourself to totally relax and become still for the last few minutes. Enjoy the peace, the relaxation. And then, as always, if you wish for longer in Shavasana, stay where you are. You're ready to close with me. Start to deepen the breath. Start to bring movement back to the body. And just gradually, with any stretches you need, we'll move back to seated to close together. So let's just finish with gratitude. Bring our palms together. Just first of all, gratitude to yourself for taking time to practice this evening, for putting your self-care first. What a great service to yourself and the world. To your liver, does so much, detoxifying, just incredible organ. And to anything else you feel grateful for in this moment. And then thank you for practicing with me this evening. Namaste. See you soon.